Welcome to the Just Trying to podcast with your host, Mike Tony Heath. Happy Thanksgiving right off the bat. Just want to say that. It's Thanksgiving Thursday with Tony. Tony's Thanksgiving Thursday, my first ever podcast. I'm sure you can tell. I have no idea what I'm doing. Just moved here to Seattle, so really don't know what I'm doing with my life or my budget. Here in what I like to call the lab. Nothing's unpacked except this corner of the room, so I could record this podcast. So you can tell as I'm in sweatpants and Portland Trailblazer jersey, Shaden Sharp, number 17, who I believe I'm making this prediction on November 24th, 2022, will win Rookie of the Year this season with the Portland Trailblazers. And Portland will win the NBA championship this year. I'm also, speaking of them, wearing these sweatpants. I bought these at the Moda Center in Portland, my first ever Blazers game. I went there with my friend, one of my best friends, Chuck, Kyle. And Chuck and I got there early. I wanted to get this game day poster. Maybe I'll put that up on the wall next time. We got to the game like a couple hours early. If you want to get there, they only have 100 game day posters. I'm not sure if you've ever been there, but they may have like a local artist make this cool poster specific to the game. They sell 100 prints in the store inside the arena. So we get there. I rush there. I bought probably like the third one. So did not need to hurry as much as we did. I was so excited and had to go pee. So we go to the bathroom. And Chuck and I are, shoulder to shoulder, like separate stalls, or urinals, of course, but just right next to each other. And we're peeing, and you know how you pee, and if you're a man. And then, so we're peeing, and this person behind us slams the stall door very aggressively, and it startles me. So I kind of turn around real quick, make sure, we're not being attacked in Moda Center, and go back to peeing. And then I go to zip up my pants and I feel some dampness right here on my thigh. And here's a picture of what happened. I had peed myself, peed my pants, little pee pants, and showed my friend Chuck. He took a picture to capture the moment. I walk into the stall that was the source of my pain. And he goes out and he tries to find me some cheap shorts. They don't sell any cheap shorts. All they had were these sweatpants in my size. I think I spent like $80 on these sweatpants, and I'm really getting my use out of them. That's for sure. Anyways, here we are. I had nothing to do. I wasn't in my notes, but we went with it. Made it work. Shaden Sharp, Rookie of the Year 2022. I called it. Well, 2022-2023 season. But we're moving in. We just moved in, not unpacked. And as we were moving in yesterday, we had some friends, some lovely friends, Lauren and Kevin, helping us move in. It would have taken us so long without them. But I was out in the U-Haul truck, and they were kind of running stuff in. I was staying with the stuff and getting out of the truck. And I got this bad habit of leaving my tongue out just when I'm doing stuff, when I'm focused. And I was looking around the corner of the U-Haul, and I got a little bit too close to the wall of the U-Haul, and I guess my tongue was out, and I kind of licked the U-Haul wall. You ever just lick something accidentally? And I got a real bad habit of that, but it tasted sweet. Something real sweet. And I was like, why does this wall taste so sweet? And I don't know. I just been thinking a lot about when you accidentally lick something, and you're surprised by the sweetness of it. Sometimes that's life, it's just sweet. And a real sweet thing happened this week. Had a hot tub baptism. Last week, got to baptize my friend Chris in a hot tub. Thanks to the Wilcox family for making that happen. It was a wonderful day, real sweet. I was actually baptized by my best leader and just friend in my life, the late great John Draghi. He baptized me in his hot tub in 2013. Pretty good stuff. I love a good hot tub baptism shows you're out here, you're just really trying to follow Jesus. You're just trying to do it. You don't know what you're doing yet, but you're like, I want to get baptized, even if it means in a hot tub. I actually love a good hot tub. I'm always down to hop in the hot tub with some friends of mine. Nothing like hot tub talk. That's good. Just getting sweaty, and I got hit by a van. I'll tell that story later, but hit by a van back in 2016. I got a bad back. Always hurts. But being in the hot tub, the jets on it, oh man, it feels good. Speaking of John, we'd go swimming a lot when I was at the University of Missouri. MIZ, Mizzou Tiger. Got the little Mizzou glass here. We would always go swimming at the rec. If you've never been to the University of Missouri, you got to go and then get a tour of the rec facility. It is world class, one of the top probably 5 rec centers on a college campus in the nation. Incredible. But they have this amazing thing called the Tiger Grotto. So we'd go swim in the Olympic-sized pool, and then after we swam, we do the hot tub set. And it just feels so good. You'd be kind of wiggling around in there and trying to position your body to get the jets to hit your back just right. It was amazing. I'll miss that hot tub. But hot tub baptism, man, it really shows your commitment, that you're really trying. You ain't just talking about following Jesus or like, hey, I'm going to start following Jesus. You're like, I've gone from death to new life in Jesus, and I'm out here really just trying to do it. I think if you just talking, you ain't trying. I talked a lot about trying to start a podcast. I've been talking about it a lot. And I was talking to my fiance, Megan, yesterday when the drive over, we were talking on the phone and just talking about talking, but you ain't trying. That you say you want to do this, you say you want to go to the store, you say you want to paint that wall, you say you want to get fit. You talk, but you ain't doing. Shia LaBeouf said it best. He said, just do it. Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Just do it. And that's what I'm coming into this, like how bad do you really want to do whatever it is? What is your hot tub baptism? You got to get out here doing it. I'm just trying to podcast. That's what it's all about. Just trying to be funny. Just trying to have some fun. Just trying to live, laugh, and love. The 3 L's of life. If you are living, you're loving, and you're laughing, you're doing it right. I think we just need joy. We just need to have more fun in life. And maybe fun and joy aren't the same thing. You probably could not be having fun and have joy. So if I can amend what I just said, I would say just trying to be joyful. I think that's what we need in the world right now. That's what you need. That's what I need. We need joy. Jesus says we can have full joy. Just imagine the most joyful moment of your life, the fullness of joy. Jesus says we can have that. I want that. And I think one of the best ways to spread joy today is through just making fun of life, not taking ourselves too seriously, taking Jesus serious. But even if you're not about that, even if you're not about the Jesus thing, just not taking yourself too seriously, that's what I think comedy is all about. I don't know anything really about comedy. It's hard. I know that. Doing stand-up comedy, I just don't get it. I think some people in my life think I'm funny, and then I try to get in front of a group of people and make them laugh, and it is hard. Harder than you would think. And and I just don't get it quite yet. But, I'm just trying to do it. I'm just trying to have joy in my life, to rejoice, even when I bomb on stage. Comedy's hard. I'm here doing it, and you're like, I can't figure it out. I can't. What's the equation? I watched a couple of Dave Chappelle specials recently. Been listening to, my top 3 comedians right now: Dave Chappelle, Nate Bargatze, and Dusty Slay. I love those 3. Obviously Dusty and Nate are very similar. Dave Chappelle, very different than those 2. But it's just incredible the master of the craft and their ability to just communicate so simply and so funny. I love that. Just taking class, trying to see how do they do it. Reading this book by Judy Carter, the New Comedy Bible. I read the Bible and the New Comedy Bible. I got 2 Bibles. But you just listen to them, you get wrapped up, you get sucked up into the moment of their joke. They pull you into this world. I remember the first time I saw stand-up comedy, it was not good. It was at this open mic in Florida. Or was it Jacksonville, Florida? Me and my friend Dylan, one of my best friends from high school. We lived together in high school even for a little bit. But after we graduated, we didn't want to go on our senior trip. We wanted to take our own senior trip. So his dad was living in Jacksonville, Florida. So we flew down there, and we were balling on a budget, man. I remember this day we were walking to the beach because we didn't have a car. I mean, looking back on it, it just feels like we walked 7 miles. I'm sure it was maybe 1 or 2 miles to the beach or to the bus stop or something like that. But I just remember I didn't want to pack a big bag, so I just wore these flip-flops. And I was not prepared for how long we were going to walk that day, and my feet were destroyed. Yeah, that was a horrible day. And then maybe it was that night or a different night that trip, we were looking for stuff to do, just hanging out, and there was this comedy club that was having an open mic. And I don't think Dylan had been to one before either, but we're this sounds like, I think it didn't cost anything to go there. So we're we'll just, we're just trying to look for something free and fun. So we go to this, and it was just I remember the one comic I remember was this woman. She had, oh golly, I don't know. She just had some short hair, and she was real confident. I remember that about her. Anyways, I don't remember her name or anything. That was 2012. Yeah, 2012. I graduated high school that we were there. So that's 10 years ago. A decade ago, I saw my first stand-up comic. And she had the weirdest, longest setup. I remember I was just being so confused what she was talking about. So I don't, I don't say that was, she's a master of the craft. But I do remember being so surprised and taken back. And I just thought it was so funny. The punchline that she said to her joke. I have no idea what the joke was about, what the punchline was, but the surprise of the joke. I remember being wow, I had no idea you were going to say that was going to come, but it worked. It wasn't just she said something random. The whole setup was just pure chaos, but the punchline tied everything together in a uniquely funny way. And I was wow, I was impressed. And I did theater in high school. I'm a proud member of the International Thespian Society. It's Troop 777, licensed in high school. Jamie Young, a teacher that had a profound effect on my life. She taught theater class. I remember being in going in 10th grade, and I took a theater class, and I was on the fence about it, but you needed that fine art credit, right? And I'm not musical at all. I can't sing well. So, and that left theater. So I took it, and I wasn't into it at first. I remember that, but we got to this section of the class about improv, and boy, did I come alive. Being in a small town, you can play all the sports, and there's no tryouts. Like, we're just trying to fill rosters out here. People are getting recruited to join the teams, and they're not good. They're just able-bodied. And so I share that because, like, at a bigger school, I'm sure you couldn't, do 3 sports and do like other clubs or theater. But at Lexington, man, you could do all the sports and be in anything else. Like, so I did theater. I was like falling in love with it. I remember the first play I ever performed in was called Almost Maine. And I was so excited to be on this cast, and fell in love with improv, and was kind of falling into this thespian troupe while I was, running track, and it was a good time. And I remember that play, I got to kiss this girl that I thought was really attractive in high school. And I won't say her name, but it was a good time. And I think I shared that because I had this moment in high school when I was doing theater that was like, we called it, Miss Young called it your aha moment. And it was like, this is what I was created to do. And I had that after this performance we did like competitive speech and theater. And I did this event called Dramatic Improv. And I was doing this amazing piece about this soldier with PTSD from his time serving in Iraq. And my dad served in Iraq with the Navy. So it was like this story of this soldier, and really just like the trauma he'd experienced. And it was like, I just felt like I had a perfect performance for me, like I felt like I delivered it how I always dreamed about delivering it, and it like moved the room. We had a collective emotional experience around this story, and it wasn't really funny at all, but I felt like I had this moment of just like drawing people, to enjoy a collective emotional experience. And then I was like, I'm going to study theater. And I remember my first paperwork to the University of Missouri, I was going to be a theater performance major. And then I had somebody just talk me out of it, like, you don't want to be a broke, starving artist. And then really went to school, changed my major to business management, started following Jesus as a freshman in college, got real passionate, and man, God has just led me out to the Pacific Northwest. And I remember before I moved, though, I saw, I got really into, like I already mentioned, Nate Bargatze, and I saw him with my best friend Chuck at the KC Improv. This was before Nate was really like blowing up on like a national level. He's probably getting to international right now anyways, but we took a picture with him after the show, and it was so cool to meet him. Very, down to earth guy. It seems like, just, I had to have a long conversation with him. We chatted for a few minutes after the show, talked about it, and just love this guy. Love his comedy. He's just amazing. I think it was like 2018, 2019, if I said that, but and then you fast forward a couple years, I'm out here in the Pacific Northwest. I actually moved to Cheney, Washington, home of the Eastern Eagles. Go Eags. And, it's COVID time. I moved across the country, didn't know anybody. I was just so sad and lonely for so long. And I don't know what it really was, but just one day, I'll have to think about this more, but one day I was like, I want to try stand-up comedy. This is in 2021. And so I like looked it up around me, and I was like, there's an open mic at the Spokane Comedy Club. And you have to sign up a month in advance, though, so it's a little tricky to get on. But you can put your name in the bucket and hope it gets drawn. But if you want to get on the list, you got to sign up a month in advance. So I'll hop on the website, sign up for May 2021. I get on a list for a Wednesday open mic, and my friends, the Ultikins, Chuck and Lucy, they're actually visiting that week. So they came out, and I asked everybody to come out, and I just did some jokes about dating and being single and lonely, moving across the country in the middle of the pandemic, and the weirdness of, Bumble and online dating, and actually talked about my pee pants during that too. And I thought I know I didn't like murder. I know it wasn't like the best, comedy set in the history. But people laughed. Like, I thought, like, okay, I can make people laugh. Like, now I did have a stacked room, so that could have influenced everything, but that went decently well. I thought I felt good. I'm walking off the stage. The next comic comes up. He's a lucky bucket. His name got drawn. I don't remember what his name. I tried to look back, but it wasn't on the list because his name got drawn. But he comes up, and the first words out of this guy's mouth were, "I hate that guy. I hope he effing kills himself." And it sucked the air out of the room because the room is stacked. I mean, this is my posse. I mean, I filled the club that night. Well, not the whole club, but, a good section, maybe a third. I mean, it was a lot of people there. And a new comic, obviously, that's a telltale sign. But I'm not a comic. I don't think you become a comic. I don't know the definition, but I would say how I think about it is like, if I get paid to be doing comedy in a comedy space, then, maybe you can be a comic then. So not a comic. Anyway, so this guy said, he dropped this bomb and sucks the air out of the room, this stacked room, for me, very, leaning heavy towards preferring me. And it was wild. I was on 10. I'm a very emotional roller coaster kind of guy. I was on 10. So I just yell out, "Why?" He's like, "I just hate everything about who you are." And I was like, "You don't even know me. You heard me talk for 4 minutes. I didn't burn the light. I ended in 4 minutes. You don't know me at all." I mean, I didn't say that. I just said why. And he listed off this thing, and he just goes in for another 30, 45 seconds just about how he hates me. And it sat with me for a while, and I don't have tough skin. My skin is so sensitive. Remember, I was just doing an open mic at a local bar, Tees Lounge in Spokane. Tees on a Tuesday. And I recorded my set, Dusty Slay. I listened to his 10 episodes on how to become a comic. Thank you, Dusty, for putting that out. I just saw him at the KC Improv a few months ago, actually, and I told him, and I really appreciate, he will never watch this, I'm sure. But if you ever see him, let him know that Mike Tony Heath appreciates it too. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Dusty said in that you always record every set so you can go back and watch it and get better. So I recorded my set, and it goes horrible. I mean, I don't think anyone laughed. I mean, that room was just mostly the Spokane comedy scene, and I did not do well. I bombed hard. And I'm walking back to pick up my phone. This comic is walking by me. He's like, "Good thing you recorded that set." And that stuck with me too. I'm just trying to say, I need to learn, if I'm just trying to be funny and to do it for God and not for these people, I think I can develop this tougher skin to let it roll off me, but I'm having a hard time about it. So it did take me a year to get back up on the stage, a year of counseling, and finally I'm back up there. And I'm getting back up, and I'm just trying to be funny. So I was thinking of podcasting, just talking a lot, just trying to get better at talking. I'm hoping to be here in the lab, kind of get it all set up, probably get some better mics or something, to talk to people as we start our marriage here. We're getting married in 9 days. So excited to marry Megan here in Seattle, and I'm really looking forward to just trying to be funny, trying to get into comedy, trying to become a comic on the side, not full time. Just trying to perform 50 times. I started reading the New Comedy Bible. She's like, come up with a goal a year from now. So I think I've performed 6 times since I made that goal a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, honestly. So, and just trying to figure it out, and just trying to be joyful, just trying to live, laugh, and love. That's what I want to do with this life of mine. And thank you. If you watch this, I don't know how you found it, but let's journey together. Let's just try to be joyful people, to rejoice in whatever circumstance. Like, that's what we can do if our life is grounded in Jesus. So if you're trying to be a comic, you're trying to be an accountant, whatever it is, whatever situation comes your way, life may suck, but if you're just trying to rejoice in Jesus, like, anything can work out. Not that it will be not that your circumstances will just be better, but you will be okay. I will be okay. And let's just try to live. Let's just try to laugh, and let's just try to love. And I'll see you next time.
Great shot.